47 seconds. That quartet behind him, Lemmy Baharnu, Jamal Yimmer, Sadat Ayana, all three Ethiopians, and then Leonard Barsaton of Kenya. So 5 men with an opportunity to make the podium here in 2021. But right now, Benson Kipruto, the 28-year-old who said he had lost all interest in training during COVID-19 when it wrecked the sports calendar, kind of used Boston as the motivating factor to get back into training. He wanted to come to Boston to use it as a springboard for his career, and he is well on his way to doing so here. And what a phenomenal year he's already had. That big win in Prague really maybe giving him a hint of what was going to be possible on the streets of Massachusetts in October.
Well, he's running so well right now, and this is the dream. The dream is to get onto Boylston with a huge lead so that you can run down that street, hear the applause, and really soak it in and not have to worry about kicking or fighting someone off. And so he has just executed such an incredible race right now. He has gotten the lead. He waited. He was patient in the early stages. He was patient through the hills. And when he went, it wasn't super dramatic. It was more of just an opening up. You know, he opened up his legs. He opened up his arms, but just did that long drive. And in this pack, you know, you mentioned Yimmer, who this is his debut, and he has a shot to land on the podium here at the Boston Marathon, his first marathon that he's ever completed. But again, this is just the Kipruto show. At this point, he's just so far ahead. And like I said, as an athlete, this is the dream scenario right here.
Less than a mile to go for the men. Benson Kipruto in command now, an advantage of over 41 seconds over Yimmer, Ayana, and Berhanu. Barsaton has fallen just a few seconds back, so maybe 3 behind the leader Kipruto for 2 other spots. Meantime, this women's race, it is not over yet. Gudetta and Kipchoge side by side.
Yeah, they're running together, and it seems like at this point they're both content to conserve a little energy and push themselves away further from the pack, but not fight each other at this point. They still have a lot of running to go, and it looks like they're happy to just, you know, I said 20 minutes earlier, they still have 25 minutes to go, so they're content to use each other's strength and push each other through this part, but not really race each other at this moment. Just use each other's energy to keep going.
So while that battle still wages, 3 other women behind the top 2 leaders on the women's side, about 21.5 miles complete.
I think we were about to see Kipruto turn onto Hereford there, which, like I said, you know, this little hill right here and then Hereford, they're just kind of shocking at the end of a marathon. You're like, why is this happening? Why am I going up this? But that's what makes Boston so challenging, is that you think you're done with the hills, you think you're done with the flats, and it just constantly changes. You have to be able to handle it all. And here he goes onto Hereford. And it may not look that steep, but trust me, it's difficult. But he looks amazing. His knee lift is good. And he's just going to be met with a wall of noise when he turns in here.
And now on to Boylston Street. You can see the finish line in sight. Passes through 26 miles of this distance. Credit C.J. Albertson for running the gutsiest race we've seen in Boston in a long time, but once he was finally passed, it was Ben